Okay, continue. Alright, I'm going to go back to Ezekiel 35, and I'm going to pick up at verse 3. Alright, Ezekiel 35 and verse 3. And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. You see that? And this prophecy has not came to pass all the way, okay? Because Malachi talks about it. Now we can go to Malachi 1 and verse 1. Alright, because the Lord is going to make the so-called white race most desolate. Because right now they're making everybody on earth desolate. Alright, they're making the whole earth most desolate. Alright, their sins have reached up into the heaven, and the Lord has heard it. So the Lord has to basically wipe out the so-called white race. Not completely, but they have to go into slavery first, and then they're going to be wiped out and be most desolate. Alright, so Malachi chapter 1 verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye saith, Wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob. Verse 3. And I hated Esau. And I hated Esau. And I hated Esau. The Lord hates the so-called white man. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished. You see, Esau saying, well, oh, we got tent cities in California. Oh, Detroit's turned into a third world country. America's about to be like all these other nations. Alright? They're about to be like all the other heathen nations. Alright? Whereas Edom saith, the so-called white race saith, we are impoverished. But we will return and build the desolate places. See, you think your economy is going to rebound. You think you're going to be able to build up nice condominiums and houses and just dwell forever. It says, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, They shall build, but I will throw down. You see that? The Most High is finna throw down. That's how you know, we're joint heirs with the Most High, because that's how Jake talked. You know, we finna throw down. You know. Well, guess what? Guess what? Thus says the Lord of hosts, They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. You see that? Esau, you're the wicked according to the Bible. The so-called white race, the Edomites, are the wicked according to the Bible. The border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. That goes right back to Isaiah 34 and 5, where it says, My people unto curse to judgment. You see, the Lord hates you forever. Lawa Lemyam, the Lord hates you forever. Alright, Lawa Lemyam means forever in the Lashon Kodash, in the holy language of Hebrew. Okay? So, going back to Ezekiel 35, pick up at 4. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the Most High, in the name of the Son. Verse 5, Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. See, there was a certain point in time where our iniquity was supposed to, or where it stopped. Our slavery was supposed to stop. But Esau, you surpassed that with hatred. Alright? You rape, rob, and murder our people. Alright? That's why you have to go into slavery. Okay? You have to go into slavery. Let me get Psalms 137 and 7. Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, Raise it, even to the foundations thereof. You see, that's that hatred. When we were getting taken over by the Babylonians, the so-called Edomites were lying in the way, setting up snares and traps, catching us, selling us to the Babylonians, or saying, oh, look, there's an Israelite over there trying to run away. Here, come take him captive. Shed his blood. Raise it means that's interrogating words. Interrogating words. Instigating. Salakia. Instigating words. You are instigating the downfall of our people with hatred and bloodshed. Okay? That's why the so-called white race has to go into slavery. Alright, now I'm going to skip to verse 11. I'm going to read it again. Alright, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of the hatred against them. And I will make myself known amongst them when I have judged thee. Alright, he's going to make himself known. How's he going to do it? Psalms 110 and 3. Psalms 110 and 3. The people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning thou hast the dew of heaven. You see, that's how the Most High is going to do it. He's going to set us in order, alright, and we're going to be willing in the day of his power. He's going to put his anger and fury in us to do what you did to us to you, and then you're going to know who the Lord is. Then you're going to know who the Lord is, alright? Then you're going to know who the chosen are, and you're going to know that you're the wicked, and that when you're in slavery in the kingdom of heaven. Alright? So now I'm going to move on. Alright, we're going to move on to Ammon, or Amman is in the Lashwan Kodash, is Amman, alright, which is the so-called Japanese race. Jeremiah 49, so that's far the judgment for Esau, okay? Esau's going into slavery, thus saith the Lord. The so-called white race, your new world order is not going to work. As soon as you reach your climax, the Lord's going to throw down and put you into slavery. America's going to be destroyed, and when the Lord sends 144,000 back and the 1/3 back to establish the kingdom on earth, that will be done on kingdom as it is in heaven. That will be done as it is in heaven on earth. That's talking about slavery, alright, in the Lord's Prayer. That's talking about slavery. Every time you so-called white people are saying the Lord's Prayer, you're basically putting a curse on yourself. Because in order for the Lord's will to be done, you have to go into slavery. The Edomites have to go into slavery. Alright? And I was roughly paraphrasing. Sorry if I messed it up. Alright, but you get the point. Alright? Jeremiah 49. Now we're going to get the so-called Japanese. You see, we're going through all the heathens. Because all heathen nations are going to go into slavery, you're in your salvation now. You don't deserve salvation. The only people that need to be saved are the elect, 144,000 of Israel. The men, the warriors, alright? The men who are out there on the highways and byways risking their lives for this thing, trying to wake up our people so this judgment can come quicker. Alright? Jeremiah chapter 49, verses 1 through 6. Concerning the Ammonites, alright. Now when you go back and look up on Blue Letter the word concerning, and if you have a 1611, it could also be replaced with against. Alright, so it says against the Ammonites, thus saith the Lord, or concerning the Ammonites, the so-called Japanese, thus saith the Lord. Hath Israel no sons? Hath he no heir? Why then doeth their king inherit the Most High, and his people dwell in his cities? Why are the so-called Japanese ruling over us? Why are they doing things and taking and holding up the statues that the Lord gave us when you're not the Israelites? Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will cause an alarm of war to be heard in Rabbah, in the Ammonites, and it shall be a desolate heap, and her daughters shall be burnt with fire. Alright, your daughters shall be burnt with fire. All those Ammonite nations, like I was saying in my other videos, those Moabites and Ammonites, all those Asian nations, you're all Moabites and Hamites, all through the spirit. You're either one of the two. Alright, or you might be Edomites, because Edomites went through and raped a lot of your people too, you Japanese people. Alright, but guess what? Just who cares if you got raped, robbed, and murdered? You going into slavery too, right along with the so-called white race. And it says, and her daughters shall be burnt with fire. Then shall Israel be heir unto them that were his heirs, saith the Lord. Alright? Then Israel is going to be put on high. Alright? How, O Heshbon, for Ai is spoiled. Cry, ye daughters of Rabbah, these are all towns in Ammon, or where the Ammonites live, and gird ye with sackcloth. Lament, alright, cry, lament, and run to and fro by the hedges, for their king shall go into captivity, and his priests and his princes together. The president, the prime minister, all the rulers of the so-called Japanese in Japan, guess what? You're going into captivity. You're going into slavery. Everybody who lives in Tokyo, everyone who lives in those towns over in Japan, and in those in Asia, and if you're Ammonites, you just happen to be Ammonites, it says, for their king shall go into captivity, and his priests and his princes together. Verse 4, out of Jeremiah the 49th chapter. Wherefore gloriest thou in the valleys, thy flowing valley, O backsliding daughter, that trusted in her treasures, saying, who shall come unto me? See, you trusted in your treasures that you got off of us. See, you like to sell a bunch of bullshit to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to make them go off here in America. Alright? Behold, so you have to go into slavery for that, because you're making us go off by your stuff. Alright? That's why the Most High is going to destroy your riches and your treasures. And you say, who shall come unto me? The Lord's going to come unto you. The Israelites are going to come unto you and put you in slavery. Talking about the Japanese race, the Ammonites. Behold, I will bring a fear upon thee, saith the Lord God of hosts, from all those that be about thee, and ye shall be driven out, every man right forth, and none shall gather up him that wandereth. And afterward I will bring again the captivity of the children of Ammon, saith the Lord. See, you Ammonites, just like the Moabites, you were in captivity under David and Solomon, and you were tributaries. Well, guess what? The thing that hath been in Ecclesiastes 3:15, the thing that hath been is now, and the thing which is to come have already been. So you were in slavery one time, you're going to be in slavery again. The so-called Japanese, the Ammonites. The Japanese race is going into slavery. All their descendants and their children are going into slavery. And afterward I will bring again the captivity of the children of Ammon, saith the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Alright? I'm going to continue in the second part with a little bit, the next video with more Ammon, the so-called Japanese, and how they're going into slavery.